Aloha, everyone. Welcome to Maui Huliau Foundation's Teacher Resource presentation. My name is Lily Solano. I'm the Program Director with Maui Huliau Foundation. I'm going to be walking you through a few of the resources, and then I'll pass it off to my coworker, Kapono, to share a few other resources. So just a quick overview on who we are. Our organization was founded in 2010. And our mission is to promote environmental literacy and leadership among Maui's youth through community-based educational experiences. Last year, we created this diagram that kind of shows some of these programs. In blue, we have our after-school programs, our environmental filmmaking club, as well as our leadership council. We do offer a few programs during the summer, like our eco adventure, and we hope to provide a couple of other programs this summer. Our post-secondary, we do have our alumni council, which was formed in 2020. And these are students that were involved in our past programs and have now kind of graduated from our organization, but they're still very much involved and kind of almost help us develop new programs and mentor some of our younger students. Today, we are going to be really kind of covering the curriculum aspect and sharing with you today some of these resources that you can use in your classroom and with your students. So I mentioned I'm going to get us started with climate literacy, and then I will touch on zero waste education and opportunities there. And then I'll pass it off to Kapono to share a little bit about our Aloha ʻāina resources, as well as our filmmaking club. So our climate literacy program, the mission of this program is really to work with science teachers in grades 8 through 12 to integrate hands-on climate literacy. This program is one that has served over 1,500 students here in Maui, and it works with teachers to implement or to provide these resources to teach climate literacy. The program is really large. I won't really go into depth today. I will highlight a couple of activities, but kind of a brief outline of the program is where we'll start off with, We'll start off with the unit 1, which is causes, and really looking at what are the causes of climate change, diving into the carbon cycle, sinks and sources, and understanding weather versus climate. Unit 2 goes into impacts. So now we're really investigating what is happening in the polar regions and looking at sea level rise, coral bleaching and ocean acidification, investigating extreme weather events, and then really diving into the impacts in Hawaii. We wrap up the program with Unit 3 under solutions, looking at the global problem and investigating the carbon footprint. We really focus on mitigation and adaptation for kind of the 2 main categories of solutions. So that will lead into our student projects on solutions, which I will elaborate a little bit more today, just to give you a good overview. A couple of just example activities. We do a lot of hands-on, but we also try and use some online tools. This one in particular is the coral bleaching activity. We have these really large quadrants of different reefs, and students learn, after learning about coral bleaching, they analyze this quadrant just the way that scientists would out in the field, and they have to calculate the percentage bleached and just the overall health of this reef. Another example activity is the analyzing sea level rise in Hawaii. So we do use this online sea level rise viewer that we have incorporated into our activities, and students look at different scenarios for 2 main areas. The first one is the one that you're looking at here, which is Honolulu, and then the second site is the island of Maui. And they really get to just investigate what are the impacts of sea level rise along these coastal communities. Going into solutions, we wrap up the program after we walk them through the causes, the impacts, looking at solutions. So I mentioned how we do mitigation and adaptation. We wrap up with a group project using Project Drawdown. And Project Drawdown is 80 solutions that have that scientists and a group of people have actually from Project Drawdown put together, and these are like the top 80 mitigation-based solutions. So we have students investigate these solutions and pick one that they're interested in, and they create these concept maps to present in class. So here are a few example concept maps from this past year that students have created, and really looking at, is this a solution that is already happening here? Can it be implemented here? What are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? And then they do a little bit of career exploration around these solutions. From Project Drawdown solutions, oftentimes we then kind of go into what we call student-led projects. This isn't always the case. It really just depends on how long you have for this program. And I will talk a little bit about the length of time for this program. But the concept maps then kind of start to spark some ideas. Are there things that we can do here in the community? Are there student-led projects that we can engage our students in? And that leads to this kind of project pathway. We've kind of broken it up into 3 main categories, which is our mitigation solutions, and that's where you see Project Drawdown. We have adaptation, resilience, in that second color scheme here in the center. And then the last one is climate justice and youth activism. So they can either, investigate maybe a project that they can do on campus, or maybe even work with community experts. And the way that we help with student-led projects is we actually will connect these groups of students with the community experts. If possible, or if we can, we'll actually come on campus and help facilitate some of these projects. A good example is last year from our Project Drawdown, we had a few students that started to investigate food waste on campus and looking at, are there ways to reduce food waste, or are there ways to divert that food waste from going into the landfill and instead can it be composted on campus? So that's just an example of a project. So that's something that we can help with and connect you with people in the community that may be working with similar projects. Now, the way that we can kind of help with the program is the biggest thing is that we will customize the program to however much time you have in class and to the resources that you already have. So some programs are only, short 2-3 weeks. We kind of choose a few of the activities that we think are the most relevant and walk them through those causes, impacts, and solutions. Other programs, if you have more time, we're actually able to do something longer, like an 8 to 10 week long program. And that is where we would include the student-led projects. So after doing all of these activities and going through the curriculum, we would then actually have the students actively work on these projects. We do have supply kits. If you are a teacher that you're really comfortable teaching this sort of curriculum, or maybe you already have your curriculum and just want to read through ours, or even just borrow some of our supply kits, we do have that as well for the different activities. And like I mentioned, we will provide support and assist your students with the student-led project aspect, if that is something that you're interested in. And lastly is in-class teaching support. So we know that climate literacy, it may be a newer topic that you may want to introduce in your class, and you might not really know how to get started. We're available to do in-class teaching support. So we'll actually come in as much as you need for us to come in and teach some of the lessons. And so we've been working with quite a few teachers this year that are first year teachers in terms of this program. So we've really been actively teaching in the classroom, and our goal is that next year they feel more comfortable teaching the program, but we would still be available to support as needed. Now, our zero waste education and other resources. I talked a little bit about student-led projects, and this can look a few different ways. You might have students that are working on their project for their junior year or their senior year, or you've just introduced different topics and you have students that are interested in different environmental related projects. We would definitely be someone that you may want to reach out to, because we can guide your student or be able to assist further. So a good example is here on the right-hand side. This is one of our students that completed her internship for her junior year with us, and she actually did 2 waste audits in her school on campus. And she calculated, weighed everything, and now is offering feedback to the cafeteria on possible ways that they can reduce the amount of waste produced during lunch. And so she's working on that project, and we've been kind of mentoring her and guiding her as she's going through those steps. So if you have students that are interested in that, in general, anything that has to be related with the environment, or any plastic-free campaign maybe that they're doing on campus, definitely reach out to us. We have in the past attended youth summits around plastic pollution. There's one in particular in California, and we will invite students that actually will complete a project like this to join us. We're hoping that the upcoming year, we will have the opportunity to return back to in-person symposiums. Lastly, on my end is our newest kind of series is our Careers in Conservation. This is a free series hosted by our Huliau Alumni Council, and it features professionals from different fields. They're sharing about their jobs, their career paths, and inspiration really for the work that they do. We do have our final event, which is next Monday, March 28th from 9:30 to 10:30. And we are doing this during the school day. So we do know that everybody has a little bit of different bell schedules, but if you'd like to join us, we have 5 professionals joining us for this particular event, and they'll be sharing about their career, and then we open it up for Q&A after. We do hope to continue this series next year, working with our alumni council, and then we do have a couple of in-person career skill days planned next month and in May. So definitely stay in touch, because that might be a good opportunity, and this is going to be for high school level. We do have our Careers in Conservation site. There's other resources as well. So that's another, our videos, we record all of the presentations, so you can find those there, as well as other resources that students may be interested in, like internship opportunities with other organizations and openings that they may have. I mentioned kind of the internship support. So again, just being a mentor to students that are working on sustainability or environment related projects. And then we do hope on our end, we're in the early stages of developing an internship opportunity with Maui Huliau Foundation. So we have various programs and projects. So we're hoping to have something a little bit more permanent for students that are interested in this field and joining our organization. So I'm going to pass it off to my colleague Kapono, and he's going to introduce himself and share a little bit more about the other resources that we have.
Aloha everyone, this is Kapono Naole with Maui Huliau Foundation, and today I'll be sharing with you a little bit about our ʻāina-based resources. All of our resources can be found through our Maui Huliau Foundation website, which you can go to www.mauihuliaufoundation.org and click on the Teachers tab at the top. In that section, you will find information about our ʻāina-based resources for teachers page, which we'll get into in a little bit, information about our Careers in Conservation series, updates about our Kukulu Pilina PDE3 course, more information about our climate literacy programs, and other program updates. Through our Teachers Resources page, you will find links over to our Maui ʻāina-based Community Education Resources tab. Here you'll find information about agencies we've partnered with over the last few years who are all ʻāina or environmental related. You'll find the contact information, type of resources they provide, and also you have access to curriculum that Huliau has made in partnership with these agencies. Now, once you're on our Maui ʻāina-based Community Education's resource page, you'll find profiles set up for all of our partner agencies. Huliau has worked with these organizations over the last few years, whether it be through our Huaka'i film series or our climate literacy projects or any of our other programs. Each agency will have a profile set up with several tabs. right? Imagine I am a teacher and I want to talk to my students about Kaho'olawe. Here you can find a profile for Kirk, Kaho'olawe Island Reserve Commission. On the first tab, I will find their agency logo and a brief summary about what they do and type of work they're involved with. Under the Curriculums tab is where you will find a link to curriculum that Huliau has made in partnership with Kirk staff. Each one of our partner profiles will have activities and curriculum related to that agency under their curriculum tab. So we have different activities for different agencies. On the very first page of each curriculum, you will find a brief summary about what type of activities are included, and you'll also find links to the individual activities. So this is the first one. Open up that link. Also linked here is any resources I would need to complete these activities, or the students to complete these activities. Imagine I want to teach the students about who George Helm is. After reading the summary, I realized there's actually a video that I need to watch and a short passage that they need to read. And both of those are also linked here. All of the activities will be collected on the first PDF, which means you can scroll down and sort through them and look through which ones you would like, or you can click on the individual links to get individual PDF versions of each activity. Now going back to our website, under our curriculum tab, we will have a videos tab where we can share some of the videos that our students have made that is related to the agency. So for instance, this is another Huaka'i film that our students made over on Kaho'olawe. Below that, you'll find information about additional resources. Here we find that Kirk offers Huaka'i to Kaho'olawe. They do virtual presentations. They also offer in-person classroom presentations and activities, and other educational resources. Each profile will also have a section with contact information. Here you will find the various ways you can contact these agencies, whether it be through their website, their emails, or even phone numbers. This website will be continued to be updated. More profiles will be added for partner agencies, and more curriculum will be added for teachers. In the Huliau created curriculum, we cover a wide range of activities. Topics range from marine biology, water conservation, history, Hawaiian culture, botany, forest restoration, invasive species, and more. And like I mentioned earlier, we will continue to add various types of activities later on. As I mentioned earlier, we also offer Huaka'i films. All of these short films are site-based, which means they were filmed on location with help from our partner agencies. They all focus on aloha ʻāina principles and were created by our Huliau filmmaking students. Some of the sites we visited were Ko'i'e Fish Pond. We also did Noho'ana Farms and other various locations around Maui. This past school year, we started our in-school filmmaking program. We help teachers and students create environmental and ʻāina-related films. Equipment and training is provided by Huliau staff, and each program is customized based on the number of students involved, the time frame, and the type and length of film we're trying to make. We are considering bringing back our after-school filmmaking program, so please keep an eye on our website for updates. The intent of this program is to use the process of filmmaking to help students further understand environmental and ʻāina-related topics discussed in your class. Here are some examples of film projects we can complete with your students. Documenting in-school sustainability projects, the planting of native species, learning about Ahupua'a or history of the area of your school, or any other environmental related topic. Types of film we've made in the past include stop motion, documentary, PSA, and mo'olelo style films. If you want to see some examples of our film projects we've done in the past, visit our YouTube page. This summer, we will be doing our Huliau Peeling Up PDE3 course again. The goal of this course is to help educators explore the potential for community partnership and ʻāina-based education while deepening their personal sense of ha. Teachers will also learn ways to leverage the strengths of the community in order to deepen their students' sense of ha through Aina Aloha practices contextualized to their particular place and community. This program is set to span 7 virtual sessions and 2 in-person sessions, taking place at Kipuka Oloalu and Ohana Farms. This program will take place between June 7th and July 19th, and is open to middle school and high school teachers.
And the second PDE3 course that we have is around climate change. And this is engaging students in climate action problem-based learning. The course is going to consist of 7 live Zoom sessions. It's going to be taught by our organization, Maui Huliau Foundation, and then University of Hawaii staff, and we also may be including some community partners. This is for grades 6 through 12, and we're taking up to 25 participants. So definitely keep an eye out for this course. We'll be announcing it in the next couple of weeks and opening up registration if it's something you're interested in. So I know we shared a lot today. Hopefully it gave you a good overview of all of our different resources. I wanted to share all of our contact information. Malia Cahill is our executive director. And then you can see Kapono and mine's email address here. And we're also on social media. So we do post a lot about our programs on social media. We're very active, so feel free to give us a follow there. And then also check out the YouTube channel to watch some of those videos and films that our students have produced that Kapono was sharing about. Mahalo for joining us.